What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about things the UK likes better about America. Yes, usually I'm learning cool new things about the UK that I haven't learned before, how things are done in the UK, how many things are done better or differently in the UK. But today I'm still learning about the opinions of people in the UK, but it's things that people in the UK think America does good, or possibly better, or different, or gets it right, according to this little discussion on Reddit. This user asked, are there any UK versus US differences where you feel like America gets it right? It's like, it's almost, it's funny to me. It's almost written as like, we gotta give them something. Is there anything you guys think that America does right? We can finally have like a secret little discussion over it. But I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'm actually genuinely curious what people in the UK, how they're gonna answer this question, and it will probably teach me quite a bit about the UK as well in the process. So, best of all worlds, right? So, the original poster here says, spellings, customs, the way Americans write the date. Yeah. There are many curiosities about those strangers across the Atlantic that annoy us. Thought, of course. Or just leave us scratching our heads. Right. I thought, okay, I need to progress this a little bit. Maybe skip this part and get to the part where we're praising all the cool stuff in America? No, just kidding. But are there any occasions where you think we're wrong, they're right? For bonus points, which difference angers you the most? Getting angry that there might be something that exists that America does well. Okay. Or better, dare I say. I'll go first. I prefer the American pronunciation of lieutenant. Oh, gee, I don't know how it's pronounced in the UK. It more accurately represents the number of times the letter F appears. I'm sorry, what? The pronunciation of lieutenant? It represents the amount of times the letter F appears? I am very confused. My biggest annoyance is that we caved in and adopted their spelling of sulfur and their definition of billion as 10 to the ninth rather than 10 to the 12th. These are some of the most random complaints slash praises of America possible. I did not know this is where we were going. All right, let's see some of the other responses to this little question. Several states have legalized cannabis, which I think is more progressive than the UK. Yes, true. Unfortunately, I'll be surprised if it ever gets legalized in the UK. Yeah, it's funny how it works in America. In the UK, or at least, I'm sure each individual country does have its own laws and whatnot, but in America, it's even more crazy because there's 50 states and every state can have its own laws about the legalization of marijuana and all that. And believe me, I never thought that we'd be where we are today. We're like, uh, dare I say, a large portion of states legalizing cannabis. It's quite something. Yeah, I never thought I'd actually see that, but now it's like nothing. Now it's just no big deal. I'm not exactly sure how that's viewed in the UK, but apparently this individual is a little jealous of it. So, okay, I'll take it. I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's strange considering how just 20 something years ago the US was vehemently prohibitionist, more so than the UK. Yeah, the US, that's what I mean. The US was so against it, and then like 20 years passed and suddenly no one cares. It's kind of funny how that works. I hope we see legalization in my lifetime. At the very least, I'd like to not be criminalized for my use. I don't hurt anyone. I want to ease my back pain. Yeah, I sympathize. I sympathize. Okay. Again, these are not exactly what I imagined when it was stuff the U.S. got right. Stuff the U.S. does correctly. Spelling words and drug legalization, but okay, I'll take it. Selecting your major a year or even more into your university degree, instead of having to pick a subject when you're applying with little to no flexibility to switch later on. Is that true? Wow. Yeah, then I do. I mean, this gives me a newfound appreciation for university in America, despite all of its shortcomings and taking on horrible, crippling, lifelong debt for many people. At least it's got something going for it. Yeah, most people, well, I won't generalize too much here. A lot of people do just do a general degree if they don't know what they want to major in or study in college. So yeah, you can begin university in America without really having to pick your major or what you're going to focus on, which is nice. It gives you extra time to actually consider it. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big decision. Thinking that you're just going to come out of high school and immediately know what you want to do for the rest of your life is I don't know, it's a lot of pressure, and I feel like a lot of people don't know what they want to do, and it's useful to have that time. So yeah, in America, more and more people are even delaying going to university. But if you do go, it's very easy to switch your major. It's very easy to declare no major until you're ready. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay. Interesting one. I didn't know that about the UK. That does make me appreciate America. Haha. As a construction worker, the ability to put a lien on the house property of a person that hasn't paid out for your work. Lien? I don't know what this word means. Is it a construction term? Let me Google it. A right to keep possession of property belonging to another person until a debt is owed. Oh, it's like collateral. Okay. The ability to put collateral on your house of a person that hasn't paid for your work. So you can take their house if they don't pay you. Okay. This lien shows up on all credit reports, meaning they couldn't even get a phone contract out until you've been paid for your work. So I got to admit, I don't know much about construction laws or policies in America myself. But if this is true, that is nice. It really basically incentivizes or forces people to have to pay you for the work you do, which is good as a construction worker. That's a very, very specific quality to admire about America. But okay, I didn't know about that. Maybe, oh, here we go. Maybe their American dream. Woohoo, you go, Chad. You can be the president of the United States of America. Ambition and confidence. Yeah, yeah. Sadly, I think some of that is starting to dissipate to, unfortunately, in the newer generations of kids and young adults, some of that American dream is kind of, unfortunately, not as attainable, it feels like. So that's a little depressing. But this, I kind of have heard this before. Like, I think in general, America does have a lot more optimism, perhaps blind over optimism for a lot of things, like, in that you can accomplish anything and make a business or do this, get a study that and become anything if you work hard and the American opportunity is there. Yeah, I definitely know that's a thing, and I think it's a good quality, like the optimism. I think it's good. Appreciate that. I think our realistic negativity holds a lot of working class people back. Yeah, yeah, I mean, isn't this like a psychology thing as well, where even if you're overconfident, you're going to probably get more things done. You're going to take more chances. You're going to actually attempt more things. Even if you're not as skilled or not as smart as someone else, if you are overconfident in a way, you or overambitious, and you kind of don't hold yourself back with the realism of, oh, is this realistic? Can I really accomplish this? There's something nice about that blind confidence or blind optimism where you get out there and at least try it. Maybe you fail, but you at least try. I like that as a quality of America, to be honest. So I like that one. I like that one. Salaries. The UK salaries are absolutely abysmal compared to salaries for the same role in the US. Really? It's essentially impossible to be more than well off in the UK purely through receiving a salary? Really? Not sure how income tax works in US, but I detest how low the UK's 40% tax band is now when with inflation. Okay, this is very specific, very current, very current. I don't know anything about the average salary, the average wage of an individual in the UK. Obviously, the UK is one of the like economically most successful like entities in the world. So I'm surprised to hear that this person's saying UK salaries are abysmal compared to America. That's interesting. Um, and is it particularly the salary part of it? Like people working in the UK can still have like a really fantastic hourly wage, or is that the detail that we're on here? Or either way, I guess thanks for saying that we get paid a lot more. That's, that's, I don't know what to think about that. Thanks. Water on tables in restaurants and turning left at road junctions if it's clear. Wait, I like these. We go from like these super serious, very specific topics to, well, very specific, kind of random topics here. Water on tables in restaurants, like getting free water with your meal. Yeah, that's nice. Turning left on roads if it's clear. Okay. So we're not talking about like a right on red, getting to turn right at a stoplight if it's red. Turning left at road junctions if it's clear? Not road junction. I don't know if I'm picturing the same thing that this person is picturing. Turning left, is this what we're talking about? Let me see here. This? Why wouldn't you be able to turn left here? If it's clear, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to turn left here and it's clear, you can just turn left. Is that not the same in the UK? How do you get anywhere? Okay. National parks. You have all facilities you need. Oh, toilets, showers, barbecue, beer spray station? Beer spray station. Okay. National parks. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of like underappreciated in America. We do have some actually beautiful national parks. I haven't really been to them, but at some point or another, I have looked them up and seen photos, and I didn't even realize there were that beautiful, like, parts of America that actually look like they belong in some other part of the world, because I just don't picture America that way and with that kind of geographical beauty. Yeah. So the national parks, yeah, they are actually good in America. And I didn't know they have facilities, toilets, showers, barbecue, and whatever the beer spray station is. I don't know what the beer spray station is, but it sounds nice. When you're admiring the park, you got your beer and you're getting sprayed by it, or I don't know. Free refills at restaurants. What? Are you telling me there's no free refills in the UK? No. No. No, don't tell me this. This this is making me more emotional than anything before this. This is okay. I'll never complain about America again. Apparently, it's not totally normal to get free unlimited refills wherever you go in the UK. Oh man, I didn't realize how good we had it. Man. Also, the fact that you insure the car, not the driver? What? You insure the driver? How does that work? Huh. And that petrol is ridiculously cheap. I have no idea what the price of gas is in the UK. Um, the price of petrol, as you say, in America was ridiculously high a few months ago, but now it's good again. It's normal. So, okay. I don't know what the price is in the UK, really. Um, House sizes. Okay. I've seen American I've seen American closets the size of British spare bedrooms. I just wish British houses were bigger with my whole being. Yeah, this is one I never really growing up in America my whole life, obviously. I just thought it was kind of normal, but the more and more I learn about the rest of the world and the UK, the more I realize the US does have generous house sizes, and the closets can get kind of ridiculous. The size of a spare bedroom. Wow, you could just make it a bedroom if in need. Yeah. I appreciate. You know what? I appreciate all these things. I'm glad this is another good reason for me to be reading all of this, not just to learn about what people in the UK enjoy about America and want. So I can kind of raise my own level of appreciation for what I've got. Wow. That's just beautiful. The way they write the date. The US 100% does not get that correct. Nor does the UK in a world where computers are basically involved in 95% of stuff. Which is why we have an ISO date format. What is an ISO date format? Can I look this up? The year comes first, then month, then day. But we do month, day, year? Year, month, day. Oh, and with no spaces? Or okay. Is there a logic to this? With most of the elements represented by numbers. So this is a very computery format, huh? I don't have any strong feelings on how to write the date, on which way the date should be written. I do find it funny that America does it in its own way. I didn't really know that. So I do find that amusing. Barbecue. Yes. Yes, every part of the world, every culture has its thing. I'm so glad America's thing is barbecue. Oh, so glad. Oh man, that is a great one to have. Oh man, I appreciate. I appreciate. This is 100% bang on. I live in Ireland, so it wouldn't be British barbecue in summer, but all you see is burned sausages, burned burgers. Maybe someone tried to get fancy and had half-cooked chicken. When I lived in America, it was night and day. Just how intense and serious and important the barbecue was. Yes. Seriously, some people take it very, very, very seriously. They cook it for hours. You can cook it all day, overnight. It melts, the meat melts in your mouth. You can do different kinds of barbecue, what you apply to the meat. Yeah, the rub, the spice. So it's very cool. It's like an art. Brisket, ribs, prime rib, turkey, chicken, well-seasoned, slow-cooked, served perfect. Oh, it's making me hungry. Yes. Thank goodness for barbecue. I'm an American living in the UK. I love it here, but I've noticed one key cultural difference that manifests itself in the workplace and society. Brits simply do not challenge authority like Americans do. Oh, this is going to be controversial. Here we go. If somebody is above you in the hierarchy or perceived as your social better, all criticism is said in hushed tones and passive aggressive. That is funny. Maybe it's more that Americans are more. Maybe they challenge authority more. I don't really know for sure about all this, but Americans definitely are willing to give their opinion very freely and are definitely willing to be disrespectful or rude or not really care about hurting your feelings. That's definitely true. So This is kind of the polite way to put it, like a nice way to put it. Is that, well, as a result of all that, Americans are really challenging each other, challenging the hierarchies, challenging your manager. That can be a good thing. Can be a bad thing, but it can be a good thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's super irritating as most Americans are raised to question authority. Yep. Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's generally true. Their investing culture. Oh, most Americans track their 401ks. Most Brits couldn't tell you who their pension is with. Yeah, yeah, most Americans are very, very mindful of retirement. Just trying to get set up for retirement. That's it. It's the goal of any job. You're trying to find a good job that you like, but you're trying to find one with a 401k, something where you can put your mind at ease that you are saving for your retirement and all of that. That's a lot of Americans stress out about that, for sure. Defining billion as 10 to the ninth. This again. I didn't even know this was a thing. It's standard in the UK. Defining a billion as 10 to the 12th is antiquated. What? What? 10 to the ninth. I didn't know people were using a different value for a billion anywhere on Earth. I would think that math is pretty much universal. So that kind of scares me. Like I don't know what to think about the billion thing. I don't even really understand it. Um, I prefer the American pronunciation of lieutenant. Okay. We still pronounce colonel with an R. With an R. Cornel? Colonel. Cornel. Okay. How do y'all pronounce lieutenant? Yes, please. Please. How do you pronounce lieutenant? Lieutenant. 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 Lieutenant, not lieutenant. Oh. I'm really glad someone asked that. That cleared up a lot for me. Okay. Separation of church and state. Yep, yep. That is quintessential America. American in UK for nearly 10 years. What America does better? Here we go. From an American's point of view. All right. Well, we'll allow it, I guess. Washers and dryers. Real estate transactions. Less classism. Salaries, again. Okay, I guess there's some truth to that. Friendliness to strangers. Okay. I don't know anything about the real estate transactions. Washers and dryers. The friendliness to strangers, I've heard. Americans are willing to be very rude and mean to strangers, but they're also willing to be very, very friendly and wonderful to strangers. So yes, I like that one. That's a good one. Um, Obviously can think of a long list of things they do worse. Okay. We didn't need to add that. All right, I know. there's got there's got to be a discussion somewhere of just things America does worse. That would just take forever to get to. The American can-do attitude is something we need in the UK. I like this one. This is kind of a nice one. This might be the one I end on actually, and it's very uplifting. It's very nice to end on this one. The American can-do attitude, the American optimism. I really like that, and it's interesting to me that people in the UK actually are aware of it. That the optimism or can-do attitude is so apparent from Americans. Like I didn't, as an American living in it, living in this thing in America, it is just a way of life. It's something you see every day, like just normal attitudes. Everyone's very much, for the most part, there is a lot of optimistic, like people think they can accomplish things in life, and that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing. So it's interesting to me. People in the UK admire that and also think, well, maybe we have like this pessimistic, realistic outlook on stuff, but just because it's realistic and logical doesn't necessarily mean it's optimal or the best. It kind of depends on what works for certain people, but I like living in the optimism. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK culture, stuff about the UK that I've never heard before or learned or seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.